What is going on, guys, and welcome to the Great Balls of Fire review. I haven't got exactly, that wasn't the word I was using, I haven't got a lot of time for this review, so I will try and go through it as quickly as possible. But last night we saw the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view, and it was very, very good. I really, really enjoyed it. First pay-per-view I've stayed up for a couple of pay-per-views gone by, and I watched them the next morning, but I stayed up last night to watch Great Balls of Fire, and damn, it was well worth the wait. Lots of stuff to talk about. It was a chaotic night in Texas, and most stuff was very, very good. We started the pre-show. Neville versus I can't say his name, Tozawa, was a okay cruiserweight match, but let's be honest, the cruiserweight division is dead in the water. Neville getting the victory, that's good for him. This feud, I would have thought, will continue through, basically because there's not really another challenger for Neville. But I think the Cruiserweight division is a ticking time bomb that will, go off very, very soon. We then start the show with Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt. The feud with very little build, there has been build, but it's been poor. It made the match, not as exciting as one would say, but I think it was a very good. It was a good match. I enjoyed the match. If the story would have been there, it would have been so much better. But I enjoyed it. I thought the kind of backstage interviews they did on the pre-show did finally give this a little mini story, and I kind of bought into it, but it was a little bit too late. This was, a good match. If it had taken place on Raw, you wouldn't have looked past it. Been a good Raw main event, but I thought it did well. And people on Twitter were enjoying it at the time, and I thought, I was enjoying it as well. So I was like, I wonder if anyone else did, and they did. I looked on Twitter, and other people were enjoying the match. Just disappointed with the build, the way it ended. Obviously, with Bray Wyatt getting the cheap sort of victory after a rake to the eye, thumb to the eye, even, will mean this feud goes on possibly to SummerSlam, where hopefully we get a proper build for Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt. But Bray Wyatt with a big win on pay-per-view, and is it a sign of things to come? I don't think it is, but nonetheless, it's nice to see Bray Wyatt get a pay-per-view win whenever he does, albeit in sort of sketchy circumstances. We then got Enzo Amore versus Big Cass, and I very, very much enjoyed this. The build-up's been very, very good. It went the way I wanted it. Big Cass basically steamrolled Enzo Amore. He looked strong. He looked great. Enzo Amore, you felt so sorry for him in defeat. I thought this was a very, very good match, strokes, whatever we want to call it. Very, very good. Enjoyed it. Look, Big Cass is the one that's going to move on to bigger and better things. He did say on Raw Talk that he thinks he can beat the Beast Brock Lesnar. I don't necessarily think he can. But I do think he needs new music. I do think he needs slight sort of character change, possibly slight attire change, and I think we could be onto something here. As for Amore, I don't know what this means for him. He'll probably go off telly for a bit, but you have to feel sorry for the guy. And he really did look like you felt sorry for Enzo Amore, and you were like, damn, Big Cass has got no chill. He really is on fire. So I thought it was, it wasn't a fantastic match, but it was not really the match, if you see what I'm saying. It was more about the story, and I thought it was very, very good. So I enjoyed that. We then got Cesaro and Sheamus versus the Hardy Boys in an Iron Man match for the Raw Tag Championships, and this was very, very good. It's up there for match of the night. I probably would say this is possibly match of the night. It surprised me. I very much enjoyed it. I was very much into it. Cesaro and Sheamus had the edge over the first sort of 10 minutes. Then Jeff and that sort of came back. Then Cesaro and Sheamus built up that two-point lead again. And then just at the end, they came back, made it 3-3. And you thought to yourself, oh my God, they're going to be able to do this. In the end, it was absolutely chaotic. Cesaro and Sheamus getting a victory after there's some talk that possibly Cesaro's shoulders weren't on the mat. We'll have to see whether that comes out on Raw. Matt Hardy's face exploded, and they nearly got the leveler, but the time ran out with about, it was so close, so brilliant. Whether it was the actual ending, I don't know, but it was chaotic. I liked it. A lot of people didn't. I thought it was a very, very good ending. I thought it was a great match, and I think one that we'll look back on at the end of the year and say that was damn good. And these sort of Iron Man tag matches is certainly something I'd like to see in the future. And Jeff and Matt, I said their endurance might be a problem, but they really held their own in that. You know, they were fine going, and they still looked as strong as they did at the start. Cesaro and Sheamus are friggin' awesome. And, you know, Cesaro and Sheamus' entrance is absolutely awesome as well. Really enjoyed this, and some now suggesting, after what happened to Matt last night, the shenanigans around it, and the fact that his face exploded, that he may be transitioning into broken Matt Hardy. You kind of didn't hear it here first, but let's pretend you did. Next up, Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks. Wasn't paying as much attention to this match as I probably should have been, but it was a good match of what I saw, although the count-out ending saw, Banks win, but Bliss retain was a little bit poo-poo, but at the same time, they kind of recovered it. They went for it because they clearly want to continue this feud. Don't have a problem with that. We need a proper build to SummerSlam. That I like. And I was a bit like, but, you know, count-out, something's got to happen after, and it did. We got Sasha Banks attacking Alexa Bliss, and we really got a bit of a brawl. Let's be honest. They went on top of the announce table, and then Sasha Banks pushed Alexa Bliss off, and then double knees off the bloody announce table. It was brutal. It was great. This feud will continue. So the match looked like it was really, you know, heading in to what was going to be a real good crescendo. And I think these two have definitely got great chemistry. And if they have a rematch at SummerSlam, it is going to be something special. And very much enjoyed it. We then got The Miz versus Dean Ambrose for the IC title. This suffered from being in kind of the wrong spot. Well, I say that, but then again, you know, it's a strong card, and this kind of was a bit of a letdown. I love The Miz, but Ambrose is so boring to me at the moment. He's stale, he's boring, he needs a character change. I'm not even that much of a lover of his wrestling sort of style. I think it's very basic and very repetitive, and I can't say I particularly like it. I love The Miz. I think he's the best heel in the roster, on the roster, sorry. And, you know, I think, look, it wasn't a terrible match. You know, I think if we went back and watched it again, it wasn't a bad match. I think the fact that we'd had some very, very good matches up to this point, and we were waiting for Reigns versus Strowman, and obviously Joe versus Lesnar, we weren't kind of into this match perhaps as much as we should have been. But it wasn't enjoyable. It was okay, you know, it was okay. But I think this feud lost a lot of momentum. I don't think people really want to see this again. It's been a feud that's been going on for a long, long time, nearly 7 months now, on and off. And I think it's time for both of them to move separate ways. But The Miz did retain, and that's the big thing out of that match, and that's the good thing. And just to know, Bo Dallas was looking good ringside. So that was the kind of bit which was a bit of a letdown. But it kind of brought the crowd down, ready to go back up again into the match and then the events that transpired that will no doubt divide the WWE, I don't know why I said it like that, the WWE universe. It is simple as that. The match itself was damn good. Enjoyed the hell out of it. For an ambulance match, I thought this was really, really good. I'm not always a lover of the concept of I'm not always a lover of ambulance matches, but this was very, very good. It was violent, it was physical, it was brutal at times. Strowman got time to sort of dominate. Reigns, you know, didn't look, you know, horrific either. And, you know, in the end, Strowman got the win. You know, stood out of the way of the spear, and Reigns basically speared himself into the ambulance. Great work, fantastic stuff. Fantastic that they gave Strowman a win. What a result for Braun Strowman. He's getting the victory, and this puts into jeopardy SummerSlam and what it's going to mean for Roman Reigns. I mean, Roman Reigns said, I'm the number one contender, but he now is, facing attempted murder charges and has lost at Great Balls of Fire. But I really enjoyed this match. If you didn't see it, make sure you go watch it. It is well worth the watch. Then what transpired after was horrific, but in a good way for me. And it will divide opinion. And I know a lot of people won't like it. And it does kind of piss me off. It doesn't piss me off that some people won't like it. But it pisses me off that I hear so many fans bitch and moan. Do stuff differently. You know, try stuff different. Do different stuff. Things are getting stale. Things are getting repetitive. This is, fans that say this. And then as soon as WWE tries something new, it's, no, this is shit. Oh, this isn't how it was back in the day. Oh, this is, look, WWE's changed at the end of the day. But don't moan for them trying something a little bit different, trying something out there. Sometimes it's not going to work. I think this worked. I enjoyed it. And look, people are going, oh, it's unrealistic, you know, the logistics, the logic of it. This is WWE, you know, it's what they're doing in the ring is not real, you know, it's scripted. You know, if you're going to watch WWE and you're going to be logical about absolutely everything, well, he didn't hit that kick, oh, he missed that, oh, that didn't even touch it. You may as well not watch. It's about getting engrossed, it's about getting involved, and it's about, you know, going to that kind of make-believe universe, you know, for the foreseeable future and believing in it. I know, we all know it's not real, you know, we all know it's not real, and we all know that, yeah, logically, you know, he could have gone around the other, you know, we understand that. But let's just stop being logical all the fucking time, you know. This is why I have a problem often with WWE fans, because it's like, you know, if you're going to watch it like that, don't watch it. It's not the sort of thing to watch that, you know what I mean? Yeah, sometimes, you know, make a joke about it, etc. But at the end of the day, if you just can go, oh, that doesn't make logical sense, you know, come on, it's ridiculous. But anyway, rant over for that. So yeah, Reigns basically came out the ambulance, speared Strowman in half, chucked Strowman in the ambulance, went into the ambulance, took the guy who was driving the ambulance out, chucked him out of the thing, drove the ambulance into the parking lot, looked into the mirror, and reversed back and tried to kill Braun Strowman. There is a search warrant out right now in the state of Texas for Roman Reigns on attempted murder charges. This puts the SummerSlam main event into jeopardy. On a serious note, though, I mean, what the fuck? Like, he just tried to murder him, and Kurt Angle was there like, what the flying fuck? I do think they made a couple of errors in this segment. They made a couple of errors with how long it took to get Strowman out. It should have been slightly quicker. I know what they were trying to do, but it should have been a bit quicker, and they should never have put Heath Slater and Kurt Hawkins out. I saw what they were trying to do, but it just didn't work. Slater did get the win, but we didn't even see the victory. It was a bit insulting to them, and at the same time, it didn't kind of work. So I saw what they're trying to do. So that's the bit that I was like, yeah, okay, this is pretty poo-poo. But it wasn't that bad. I mean, it did take a little bit longer than the normal, yes, but it wasn't horrific. And when Strowman eventually got out, and he was walking, and he was bloodied, and he was fucked up, but he was still standing, and he was still walking, we all know Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman aren't finished yet. So, are they going to have a rematch at SummerSlam? I don't know. I know that segment at the end is going to divide opinion, but Strowman got the victory over the big dog. That means the company must rate Roman Reigns. I know some are going to try and spin it and say, oh, this still makes Roman look strong because blah, blah, blah. I don't necessarily think it does. I think Reigns now has to go into a heel. That's one thing it has to happen after this segment. You know, Jesus Christ, he tried to kill Braun Strowman. He has to turn heel. You know, he lost a match, got angry, is clearly a bad loser, and, you know, yeah, basically tried to kill Braun Strowman. So he has to turn into a heel now. I think he's already kind of there, but not officially. This now has to be official. Maybe it's a double turn. Maybe Braun Strowman's the face now, and, you know, Roman's the heel. It would kind of work because Strowman came out, still stood on his feet. You know, that is what a face would do. Strowman is over with the crowd. I'm going to say this right now. He's in my top 3 at the moment. He is in my top 3. I love the guy. He's so powerful. He's so damn quick. In the ring, I think he's fantastic. I can't think of a poor Braun Strowman segment/stroke match. I can't think of one. I enjoy it as a spectacle as much as a wrestling match. And he is very, very good between the ropes as well. He makes everything feel important. And I genuinely think he is as big a star that WWE have got on their hands, you know, in regards to side. I think he could, in, 10 years' time, be bigger than the Big Show was. He is incredible. And if Strowman isn't Universal Champion by the end of the year, there is something seriously, seriously wrong. What a segment. Reigns surely got to turn heel. I friggin' loved it. Moving on to the main event then. It is Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe. It is the dream match, the one we have been waiting for. And these two left stuff in the locker. I felt it. It was frantic. It was quick. It was, power versus power. It was a really good match in regards to, you saw the psychic of Samoa Joe, and that he didn't care how he won. He just wanted to win. He attacked Lesnar before the bell. He hit him with a low blow. Lesnar hit him with suplex. Could clean a clutch. I can't say the word fucking properly. You know what I mean. Samoa Joe's submission. It was very, very good. And I felt like there is more to come from these two, especially when Joe looked back at Lesnar after Lesnar had beaten him with the F5 and Lesnar at the top of the rope. When he looked at him, he didn't look like a man who had finished with Brock Lesnar, and Lesnar looked like a man who had got in a fight. Lesnar looked more vulnerable here. It wasn't like the Goldberg one, because the Goldberg one, Lesnar got beat, quickly, bang, bang. It wasn't, he didn't look bad over time. He just sort of got caught off guard a couple times. This was completely friggin' different. Lesnar wasn't caught off guard. I mean, yeah, he was at the start. But when they were in the ring together, Joe was hanging with him. And I know Lesnar got the victory, but damn, Joe looked strong. And if somebody's going to try and tell me that Joe looked weak in defeat, I really don't think he did. He hung with Brock Lesnar as good as anybody has. And that's the honest truth. And I want to see these two go at it again at SummerSlam. I think it might happen, because Strowman and Reigns aren't finished, and nor are these two. And I think that would be great. I did post it on Twitter. I want to be careful what I post on Twitter, because I know KWE hadn't seen the pay-per-view, and I didn't want to spoil anything on Twitter by tweeting something. So I tried to not spoil stuff and just sort of tweet, great match. But, not sort of anything sort of like, oh, he won, he did this, he did that. But I did tweet right at the end, and this is bringing context to it, maybe we get a fatal four-way at SummerSlam. Maybe it's Strowman. Maybe it's Reigns. Maybe it's Lesnar. Maybe it is Joe. That would be awesome. But Joe, Lesnar, they left stuff in the locker. Hell, give them 20 minutes. They'll give you a match of the year. What a night. What a show. Best pay-per-view since WrestleMania, hands down. Great Balls of Fire was damn good. Really, really enjoyed it. I'm going to give it a 7.5. Out of 10, if we're going to go on the sort of A to B scale, I'm going to give it an A-. Enjoyed the show. There was only a couple of things that kind of sucked a little bit. The ending to the women's match was a bit poo-poo. And the Miz Dean Ambrose match wasn't exactly great. But other than that, it was very, very good, to say the least. You would probably say Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins was a bit of a letdown, but only because of the story before. But, really, really good show. Enjoyed it. And we move on. We move on to Battleground. And then it's the big one. It's SummerSlam. And the card is already looking like it's going to be one hell of a card and stacked as hell. A lot of rumours going around. Not going to say I'm on here. But SummerSlam looks good. What a night. What a match. I can't wait for Raw. Strowman's reaction is going to be insane. What the hell is Kurt Angle going to do with Roman Reigns? Joe, how's he going to react? Oh, damn, it's going to be awesome. It's damn true. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Great Balls of Fire is in the books.